After a stupendous night of WrestleMania 38 Night 1, the question was, can WrestleMania 38 Night 2 follow that? So let's see. We got emotional moments, great wrestling matches, absolute next level extravaganza that was literally the best segment I've seen in years, a huge WWE Championship unification match that you probably don't know how to feel about, and also a mousetrap. Well, most importantly, we saw the best/worst stunner cell of all time. I'm honestly shocked by how good this WrestleMania was, and it kinda shows you that sometimes WWE knows better than the fans. Majority of wrestling fans hated seeing these matches on the card, but I took a different approach. I was like, okay, I see what WWE are trying to do, and I know how entertaining it can be. And I was right, all of these matches banged. WrestleMania and wrestling in general is all about moments, and this show was a good example of that. But if you watch this segment and you're still talking about booking, 50-50, old men taking opportunities, touch the grass, my man, it's nice out there outside. It's not that deep. This was one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time, and it's kinda weird because WWE didn't necessarily follow what the hardcore wrestling fans want. Most of us in some ways were really critical of this WrestleMania, and we gotta admit we were wrong. I know the card didn't even look that special, but instead of spoiling everything, WWE made it a bit more special and created a bunch of memorable, surprising moments. Stupendous! And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my WrestleMania 38 Night 2 review. Man, in the past 48 hours I slept for like 5 hours probably, but oh boy, you guys make it worth it. I really appreciate it, man. Like that means the world to me. I probably don't deserve this, but oh boy do I appreciate it. By the way, I've realized I didn't talk about the stage. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I've seen people saying it looks simple. My boy, if that's simple, what do we call this? What do we call this? It looks exactly like my monitor. The show kicks off with Triple H. This was really unexpected, but I'm glad we got this moment. This was Triple H's goodbye to the WWE when it comes to his in-ring career. This was a long-ass entrance. Triple H was just feeling the moment. He was really emotional. He left his boots in the ring, and yeah, that was symbolic. He's leaving the WWE in-ring competition. But then he welcomes all of us to WrestleMania. I'm glad we got this moment because yes, we know Triple H is retired, but we got this WrestleMania moment, and now every time you will rewatch this WrestleMania, you'll remember that that was the year, that was the month Triple H decided to retire from pro wrestling. Beautiful. The show kicked off with a triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team titles, and as expected, this was an absolute banger and a great way to open the show. This match was action-packed, and you can tell how much fun Randy Orton is having. That to me honestly was the highlight. The finish was unbelievable as well. In a way, I did like when Riddle came out of nowhere and RKO'd Montez Ford off the top rope. That was really good. But then we got a catching RKO, which was a great moment, don't get me wrong. But it's kind of weird that we got this RKO at WrestleMania, but an RKO to Chad Gable on Raw was 10 times better. So I kinda wish they saved it for this show. So RK Bro retained the WWE Raw Tag Team titles. The Street Profits put their egos aside and decided to celebrate with RK Bro. But of course, there's Gable. WWE are treating this guy like God. They're treating him like Veer. He's not on Veer's level, ladies and gentlemen. Not even close. I've just realized we got 2 nights of great WrestleMania and Veer is going to come today. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm ready. So they were about to celebrate until we got Chad Gable smacking other Gable's drink out of his hand. There are a few things you need to learn. One of them is when I'm talking, you need to sheesh. And of course, Gable shuts Gable up. It's party time. It was also nice hearing from commentators that Randy Orton said that yes, he had many important matches at WrestleMania, but the next match is always the most important one, even though this is just a tag team match, so that made things a bit more special. Then we saw Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Oh, let me get my VR goggles. I mean, you can tell that Omos is still green during this match. We got a few iffy moments, I understand. I've seen Meltzer saying this was really bad, and I don't know, man. This was just a match. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It was just there. Just two big men showing their strength, and yeah, I think people are exaggerating. If anything, I know Omos is not good in the ring yet, but I was genuinely surprised. You gotta understand, this man is big. Obviously, it's gonna be very difficult to wrestle for the guy, and I think in this match, he showed his best performance so far. He's learning. I also like that we got spear to the ribs, another spear, and Bobby Lashley actually won the match. That was my prediction actually, even though that was a wild card, man. Like, I know people expected Omos to win because he's getting that big push, but I was like, I don't know, man. Lashley, he already lost the WWE Championship. He can't lose at WrestleMania. And WWE thought the same, and Lashley won. And I'm happy. Oh boy, this match, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn, had no right to be that good. Okay, so let's talk about the highlights, because we got plenty of fun stuff. First of all, the match kicks off with a Helluva Kick. Then we got a fire extinguisher. A bunch of attacks with weapons you would see in hardcore matches. Sami Zayn finds a table full of mouse traps. This was a hilarious moment. Johnny Knoxville goes through the table. Johnny uses sound as a weapon. Then we saw Party Boy. Not only did we see Party Boy, we saw Party Boy with them butt cheeks. At WrestleMania Night 1, you saw Becky with them butt cheeks. At Night 2, you saw Party Boy with them butt cheeks. Same level of entertainment, I'm sure. But he got his ass kicked, obviously. He puts the guy under the ring, but then someone bites Sami. It's V-Man! And oh boy, shades of Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. I'm gonna tell my kid this was Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. It was actually even better. Honestly, even more impressive. Helluva Kick to V-Man, using AEW's explosion. Not attack. Not attack. Sami saw a taser, so he started running away, but he was met with Mae Young's son. This is also a weapon you saw in Jackass a lot. One of my favorite moments was Johnny Knoxville grabbing Sami's nuts with I believe you use that in a kitchen, right? And then he goes through the mouse-trapped table. Then he pulls up a giant mousetrap. It wasn't working as it was supposed to, but the man, he knows this kind of stuff, so he fixes it. Bam! 1, 2, 3, Johnny Knoxville wins the match. What a moment. And, absolute, wow! Was it stupid? Was it the dumbest thing I've seen in a while? Absolutely. Was it entertaining? Oh boy, yes. So many moments. This was fun, ladies and gentlemen. This was really, really fun. Sure, Sami Zayn lost, which is kind of a shame, but I mean, you can't say that he lost clean, right? That's what WrestleMania is all about. You need variety. You know, you don't get bored because you get everything, basically. You see this kind of match, then you see a 5-star classic maybe, then you see another funny match, then you see some... It's all about variety, my man. Then we saw a fatal 4-way women's tag team championship match. I liked Sasha Banks and Naomi's entrance. So yeah, this wasn't really that interesting, but as expected, we did get a cool moment out of it. And this spot, you can't have a multi-man women match without this spot. We saw a cool tag team move from Sasha Banks and Naomi, and they won the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. This was a pretty awesome moment, I'm not gonna complain. And also the streak is broken. I think that's the first time, I could be wrong, I think that's the first time Sasha Banks won a match at WrestleMania. Justice for Sasha! Mark is happy, Mark is coming to WrestleMania next year for Sasha. Then it was time for AJ Styles versus Edge. I absolutely loved Edge's entrance. And this got mixed reviews, ladies and gentlemen. I watched this match and I was like, okay, I like what I'm seeing. I like the story being told right here. We're seeing a different side of Edge. He's acting different because he's a bad guy now. So I did like the spots. I think it was fast enough, at times it was slow, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I've seen people saying, well, this match is way too slow. Well, is it really a bad thing? It doesn't have to be. Like, they're telling a story in this match. It seems like some people still don't understand Edge's matches. If anything, what I got out of this match, man, these guys are in their, I don't know, 40s, right? They're moving like in their 20s. So I think it was really, really good. I loved the suplex spot and the finish, man. The finish was something else. Not only because of the spot, but because of the moment. So we see Damian Priest. all dark, like an emo boy. Mama told me she's going to buy me all the Robux, but she never did! I'm joining the dark side now. So AJ is confused, he goes for the phenomenal forearm, catching spear, Edge takes the W, and it seems like he's confused. We see Damian Priest, he goes to the ring, and then we see the evil smile. We're seeing a new faction, ladies and gentlemen. A dark faction, a bunch of emo kids. Once upon a time, they were just nice little kids. But then, all of their mama said, no more Robux. No more Robux in this household. And they snapped. Mama is a bad person. But yeah, man, this is cool, and I'm actually excited to see what other members we are going to see in this faction. I wouldn't mind seeing T-Bar, Dominic Dijakovic, I think his name was. I wouldn't mind seeing this guy, because we have some people who are really talented but are being misused. You know, they got unfortunate gimmicks and stuff, and yeah, man, this could actually work. Having Edge as a leader, you can't really fail. I've seen people comparing this match to AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and I don't know, man. I don't agree with this. Was a great match. Man, so Ridge and Sheamus versus the New Day was really unfortunate. The only highlight was, you know, the New Day rocking Big E's attire. This was a really short match. Ridge, Holland, and Sheamus take the W, and that was basically it. Now I understand why it wasn't on night 1. Yeah. That was a thing. Then it was time for Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. This was the most entertaining match slash thing, segment, promo, extravaganza, stupendous kind of thing I've seen in a while. I don't know what that was. This was really fun. And again, I've seen people saying, this was way too long. What? Come on. Can you enjoy anything? Can you appreciate anything? So Austin Theory looks like a spoiled kid, you know, with his dad. And then we see Pat McAfee with the cheerleaders and Seven Nation Army song. My man got a better theme song than 90% of the roster. So yeah, the question was, can Pat McAfee perform? And oh boy, he can. He looked like an actual wrestler. There was nothing I could really complain about right here. We saw quite a few impressive spots. This was just a really fun match to watch. Also seeing Vince McMahon's reactions and Michael Cole rooting for Pat McAfee. That was really wholesome. Also Pat McAfee beating the crap out of Austin Theory and talking. That was a big highlight. The flip of the top rope was pretty spectacular. The Swanton Bomb. This was just a really fun match. So we saw a roll-up and Pat McAfee takes the W. What a moment. We see a disappointed dad.
This is not gonna end this way. This is not gonna end. You wanna face the daddy. You wanna face the daddy.
Woo! My man is jacked. Oh my god. Like, I'm seeing Vince McMahon like that. Fuck, I'm embarrassed. I'm a 22-year-old man, and this man is at least 500 years old. I feel embarrassed. There's no excuse for us to look like this and for this man to look like this. We failed, ladies and gentlemen. We absolutely failed. This is an alpha male. We're just freaking betas living in Vince McMahon's world. And yes, he's wrestling. He's going to wrestle. Austin Theory attacks Pat McAfee, and then we saw Vince McMahon, well, I guess you can say wrestling. He was using some kind of moves, throws and stuff on Pat McAfee, and yeah, this was entertaining, my man. This was really entertaining. Austin Theory got involved again. We saw a ball. He was playing around, teasing the crowd, wasting some time. Then he kicks Pat McAfee and wins the match against Pat McAfee. Vince McMahon still got it. So we're seeing the celebration, them being cocky. It was kind of long, so I was like, okay. And I tweeted this actually. Where's Steve? Where is Steve? And then Austin Theory's music hits. Vince McMahon thought that it's Stone Cold Steve Austin's music, so he reacted in shock, even though that was your music, my man. And then you knew that, yes, we're about to see Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes, we saw the guy. He beats Austin Theory and, of course, asks for some beer. Vince McMahon tries it and he's like,
yeah, that's actually pretty tasty, Steve. That's actually pretty good.
So they were drinking some beer, and of course it ends the only way it could, with a stunner, except A very weird, I don't know how to explain this. It could go wrong in many ways. This went wrong in every single way possible. There's no way it could go any worse. That was the worst thing you've ever seen, yet one of the best things you've ever seen. Like, if it was sold correctly, it wouldn't be that good of a moment, but this basically shows you after all these years, Vince McMahon still can't sell for shit. And Stone Cold Steve Austin was just laughing his ass off. Then he drank some beer with Pat McAfee. Of course, we saw his stunner with an amazing sell this time. Pat McAfee is just done. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin celebrates, appreciates the moment. It's just nice seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin being happy. Obviously, it seems like he's proud of his match at WrestleMania Night 1. He's having fun, and I hope we're gonna see more of this guy, you know. That's the thing, man. I don't mind seeing legends. It's entertaining. It doesn't really hurt anyone as much as people think. So this was one of the best segments I've seen. This was fun, funny, shocking, surprising, and it was actually a rumor that Pat McAfee is going to face Vince McMahon, and people were like, nah, it's not gonna happen, obviously not. And WWE were like, yes, it will, but you're still gonna be shocked, you're gonna be surprised, you won't expect it. I appreciate that. And then it was time for the main event, unification match. The new champion will be called Undisputed WWE Universal Champion. We saw Roman Reigns, we saw Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman doesn't let the announcer introduce Roman Reigns, he does it himself, and Brock Lesnar does it himself too. So we saw the match, and it was honestly, well, exactly what you would expect. It was kind of a finisher fest, honestly. I was watching this match and I didn't really know how to feel. I don't think it was bad, but after so many great moments, we kind of got spoiled, and I was expecting a big moment, especially, you know, because we got rumors that The Rock might return. So even after this match ended, I was like, okay, time for The Rock. Maybe today on Raw, we'll see. But the match itself, you know, I didn't really mind it. I think it was a bit too short, or it just never got to that next level. We saw quite a few interesting spots, but then we saw the Kimura lock, and it seems like, from what I saw, Roman Reigns' arm actually got broken. He literally got injured. I'm not sure if that's legit, but from the screenshots I saw, I think he got injured, but it actually made a pretty decent moment. Paul Heyman was like, you can do this, my tribal chief, keep fighting. This was a great moment, but then we just saw reversed F5 spear, and that was it. This was a nice shot of Roman Reigns being the undisputed champion. I like that. Then he gave the WWE title to Paul Heyman, maybe because, you know, he actually got hurt. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was okay. It just really lacked something, in my opinion, you know. It was exactly what we thought it would be, and it didn't surprise us in any way. I think that was the problem. I'm not really happy that we got these championships unified. WWE is about to get really repetitive, and I think, as much as I like Roman Reigns being a long, you know, reigning champion, in a way it does get boring seeing every pay-per-view ending the same way. We do have a problem, and having the WWE Championship maybe, you know, would fix that problem. But now we don't have the championship, so now it's about to get repetitive. It's about to get really repetitive. And yeah, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed WrestleMania, because I really did. It was really fun, my man. So now I can't wait to watch Monday Night Raw. Seeing Cody, seeing what's happening with the championship. Are we getting a new championship? What's the next rivalry? Wrestling is really interesting. It's wild, it's stupid, it's dumb, and I absolutely love it. Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.